രാധാകൃഷ്ണൻ സാർ കാര്യം തോന്നുന്നല്ലോ.
Hello.
Sir, carrier.
I've joined.
Sir, is it? Okay. Yeah, 1 second. Okay, we'll. Shall we start the meeting then? It is 6:30.
Yeah. Sure.
Namaste. Good evening. Good evening, all. Today we are organizing our first meeting of webinar for the Swabalambi Bharat Abhiyan. And I have my enabled leaders here who are directing this in-session for the today webinar. We have Dr. Radhakrishnan. He is former CHRO, Tata Steel, and he was an official for Federal Bank as well. We have Dr. Raj Nehru, Vice Chancellor, Vishwakarma Skill University. And we'll be having our All India Joint Organizing Secretary join shortly, Mr. Sadish Kumar ji. So I'm formally starting up the meeting. We have the meeting today like 6:30. We are calling the meeting. It is my turn to invite all. Then we have 15-minute section by Dr. Radhakrishnan. Then we have another meeting, another webinar by Dr. Raj Nehru. Then 25 minutes we'll be sparing with our organizing secretary Sadish ji. Then we have a 10 minutes interaction and we'll go with the vote of thanks. Adira Vijaykumar will be giving the vote of thanks. So I formally with a prayer for this today's webinar, I start up this session. It was my turn to invite all the here. First of all, I have my invitee, Dr. Radhakrishnan. As I said, he is a former CHRO, Tata Steel, and was an official with Federal Bank. He can give a very enlightenment this thing for the youth to get it in part. So I formally invite him for this meeting. Then we have Dr. Raj Nehru next. He is a Vice Chancellor for Vishwakarma Skill University. He have a 25-minute session with us. I also formally invite him to the meeting. Then I have my All India Joint Organizing Secretary Sadish ji. He'll be joining with us in the meanwhile. I, on behalf of you all, invite him also for this formal meeting. Actually, this webinar is for an Abhiyan, like we want to rebuild the great India. Our vision is to resolve the unemployment problem. So we want to create an awareness with our professional students that they should not be a job seeker head. They should be a job provider. If you want our people, our professionals to be job provider entrepreneurs in the global arena, that is our aim. So we are starting up step by step, and this Abhiyan will be taking themselves for the self-employment and entrepreneurships. So everybody, normally what happens, our culture, our system, our tradition is like, after studies, everybody will be searching for a job. It is a reality that we have a very less job opportunity in India. Like 6 to 7% of the total population, means job seekers can have only the government, but everybody for this. So we should understand the reality that our professionals, our engineers, our doctors, our other professionals, and everybody, they should think on to develop themselves, to take up the risk to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is really a risk, but the risk should be first, and they should be bold enough to take the risk to take up to give opportunity to others also. So that is the main agenda behind this Abhiyan. So step by step, we are reaching out to colleges, we are reaching out to the polytechnics, we are reaching out to the panchayats, everywhere we will be reaching out. Our Abhiyan is planning to reach out to the ever root level to empower our youth. That is the basic way to empower India back. So we in every area, government of India is looking up strongly to take up this way, strongly to take up this abhiyan, like not even abhiyan or many other areas we are looking up, and we are planning up to give a great power for every segment to grow in. So this abhiyan is basically to motivate the youth towards don't be a job seeker, be a job provider. So we are sure that we can resolve this thing. Why? Because our we can see in global area, in globally, our people are leading in many organizations and they are leaders in many big corporates and other thing. So we want to understand that Indians, the Bharatiyas, are very strong in entrepreneurship as well. So we should be powerful enough to look in that. We have to give the opportunities for the youth. We have to give ideas. We have to empower them. The scenario should change. So that is the basic agenda behind this webinar. So it is a startup with Kerala. So let us, with a good press, I invite all the invitees here. Further, I invite each of you, the people, those who joined with us for today's evening, to hear the great session. I invite each one of you from my heart to be a participant, be strong participants for this Abhiyan ahead. Further, we have our YouTube link streaming going up. I invite each on in the YouTube link also to this Abhiyan, this webinar, to take this mission ahead. I hope we have a great time ahead, successfully taking up this mission ahead. So let us start with this program. Why? Because it is a webinar. I don't want to take it much to in my version itself. So my formal, personal, and my team's invitation formally has been done to each and everyone participating in this program. Thanking you for my thing, and I go ahead inviting our speaker, Dr. Radhakrishnan, to take the program ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Anil Pillai. I am grateful to the organizers for giving me an opportunity to speak to the youth of Kerala. As you can make out, possibly from the way I'm speaking, I'm a Malayali, but I have not been in Kerala most of my life. So my limitations as far as the local language is concerned, but I manage. I also have become reasonably good in understanding and speaking and responding in Malayalam. But I'm not natural in giving speeches in Malayalam. So you would have to, those of you who struggle with the other language, my apologies for doing what I'm doing. But let me come back to the topic. The topic, as I could understand, is to make India something which we would be proud of. The reason why I'm saying this is that most of us Indians, whether Bharatiyas as we call them, most of us are not proud of our country, and the youth is possibly the biggest culprit, because the first thing they do, is that they try to get out of the country the moment they get an opportunity, and I don't blame them. While Mr. Anil Pillai very rightly said we have limited employment opportunities, I personally think that maybe there is more to it than just that. Actually, the country needs a lot more engineers. The country needs a lot more doctors. The country needs a lot more professionals. The country actually needs good quality people. what has been happening, and it's let me just share with you while sir just mentioned that I was the head of HR for Tata Steel. I was also playing a similar role in Federal Bank. Post that, I did something which I suddenly realized that was my calling. That was the most important thing in my life that had happened. In 2014, I started teaching. I left my corporate jobs and I went to a very, very unique university, a university called Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, in a place called Puttaparthi in Andhra Pradesh. The uniqueness of that institution is that it believes that education is not something like a commodity to be traded in. Strongly believes against making education a business venture. So as a consequence, they don't charge fees for anything from standard 1 till you finish your PhD, if you want to do your PhD. It's a unique university set up by my guru, Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. My humble pranams to him as I address a public gathering for the first time. I have normally spoken in smaller groups in my university. Once I got in there, I realized the purpose for which education actually has to be imparted and the purpose for which education has to be got by young people. It is to become human beings. Today, if you look at it, we talk about professional education. What is professional education? Our only belief is profession is engineering or medicine or similar or accountancy, so that I become a chartered accountant. But education is much more than that. Education is an opportunity, and as I see it, education is a huge opportunity for people to serve. And that is what this country needs. We need people who will serve. Most of us, including the teachers, I'm very, very apologetic on behalf of the teachers, because most of us as teachers are really not interested in the students. I find that a quality which a very rare problem that we, rare few who genuinely feel that they must develop students. Very few teachers. Most of the teachers are much more focused on what benefits they can get out of this profession. They call it a profession. Let me share a small story with you. Some 10, 12 years back, when I was in Jamshedpur with Tata Steel, I had an opportunity to address teachers in a school in Jamshedpur, which is run by a Malayali. It was called Kerala Samajam School. And I was asked to speak to the teachers. And I thought there would be 5, 7, 10 teachers, so we'll have a quick conversation. It turned out that the school was so vast, it had so many branches that there were some 700 or 800 teachers in the auditorium. So it was quite a challenge. My first question to them, and this is a question to all the teachers first, before we talk about youth and all that. I asked them, how many of you are considering education or teaching as a profession? I was not surprised when almost 99% of people raised their hands and said yes. They possibly didn't realize what I was hinting at. Once they raised their hands, I said, I think in that case, most of you need to go home. And the reason why I said that is a guru or a teacher, as we call ourselves, is someone who doesn't look at what is in it for him. He does things just because he enjoys giving. That is the culture. That is Bharatiya culture. Bharatiya culture is a guru or a teacher is actually a person who just doesn't focus on how he will benefit by teaching. He focuses on his students. He cares about his students. His teaching does not come from his lips. His teaching comes from his heart. That is the fundamental difference between what Bharatiya teaching is or Bharatiya education system is versus what the global education, and most of us, let me assure you, whether we like it or not, almost every one of us are aping the Americans. We are looking at what next can we pick up from the United States, and how can we incorporate it in our lives. There is enough and more learning that we have from our own, original universities, original institutions. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to start learning from the Western culture. We must do something unique, and that is why, as a country, we should do something different. One of the things I want to share with you, this is because now in the recent past, last couple of years, after I came back from Puttaparthi in Kerala, I stay in a place called Chenganur. In Kerala, I teach in a local college here, which is a privately run local college. And I can see that it's not unique about one college. It is every decision is based on the financial implications of it. It is not based on how the students will benefit from it. Students have to benefit. It's not so much to make a profit from what we do in colleges. It is to see how we give. And that culture has to come back. You as young professionals, I don't know, I really don't know the audience. I assume that there are quite a few young professionals in this audience. If you are wanting to become engineers, don't join any Tom, Dick and Harry college. In Kerala alone, we have all kinds of engineering colleges. And none of them are actually being able to, the only focus, and that's the interesting thing, the only other thing they look at is placements. If you are going to use your degree just as a begging bowl, then you might as well not learn engineering. It is extremely important for you to understand why you are doing engineering. What is the purpose? How many, I actually, if I look at, some 50, 60, 70 years back, when, say, the arch dam in Idiki was constructed, you should have you possibly don't realize that the engineers of that time were genuine engineers. Hello? Is that?
Go ahead, sir.
Can I go ahead? Or somebody speaking to me?
No, sir, it's a base now. So,
Okay.
You can go ahead, please.
So if I look at the quality of work that happened in that creation of that dam, the quality of engineers you can make out. Today, if you look at the engineers that come out of these institutions which we have in Kerala, and not only in Kerala, this is a rampant problem across the country. If I look at the quality of engineers that come out of our engineering colleges, I'm not sure whether they are employable for any of these things. So why go for engineering when you can do something which is more meaningful? Even if you do a skill building activity of, becoming a fitter or a mechanic, that is much better than becoming an engineer, and that too a useless engineer at that. I won't get into the medical profession, because the medical profession is even worse. It is dangerous. It is actually fatal. Because the quality of doctors that are coming out are the kind of people today. One reason why people have lost faith in medication is because the quality of doctors. When we were younger, the family doctor didn't have to be an expert in anything, but he was extremely useful to us because he could do anything. So let's create a Bharat which is not focused on taking. As professionals, you must see what can you give, and that is where when Mr. Anil Pillai talked about becoming entrepreneurs, it becomes important. It's not a big to be an entrepreneur. It's not a big deal. You don't have to be a Birla or a Tata. You can be whatever in your community. You can be an entrepreneur. And I can assure you today, for example, when I have a problem at home, a simple problem of getting my water pipes working, or my electrical things working, or my anything working, how difficult is it to get someone to help me? That itself is profession. To be able to come to set up a service organization. And Kerala is the best place for that because Kerala is a land of retired people. Most of us are old. We can't do our own work, and you as youth can actually play a huge role while serving all of the old people. You will also be able to earn some, whatever you need to earn. And let's not be greedy because all of the people are not wealthy enough to pay exorbitant prices. So, this is the way I think about professionalism. This is the way I think you people as young people should focus on how you will grow. Remember, the rule is very simple. You are here to serve. The rest of it, what you get out of it, and that is why the Bharatiya culture focuses on giving, more and more giving. It's not about taking. You take your own. If you take some of the best leaders that we've had, all of them, whatever party they may belong to, because I have interacted with some of them. I'm talking about political leaders. They actually give. They don't seem to be living any luxurious life at all. Unlike the business people that they all of them have huge houses, huge whatever, but good leaders live simple lives. And obviously there are few of them. They say no to luxury. You have to move in that direction. Then only will you be called a Bharatiya. You cannot be a Bharatiya just by being born in a country called India or Bharat. So I would encourage youth to start looking at things from that angle rather than, I think I have overshot my time. But thank you once again. Thank you for giving me an opportunity, Mr. Anil Pillai. By the way, I'm not a doctor in that sense. I am a professor. So I'm called Professor Radhakrishnan, although I have not taken my doctorate or I haven't done a PhD. Yeah, because I'm a professor, people assume that I am a doctorate in something or the other. No, I haven't taken a doctorate. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Radhakrishnan, sir, for an elaborate eye-opening for the youth. We are very thankful for you. We expect your participation ahead also. So, for your kind words, we are very happy. I recognize the joining of our All India Joint Secretary Sadish Ji to the meeting. I welcome him from my heart and from my team for this meeting, sir. So next is our Dr. Raj Nauru, sir, is here for giving his views on this mission, sir. So I invite Vice Chancellor Dr. Raj Nauru to take the meeting.
Thank you, Namaskar, and congratulations for organizing this program. And it was privilege to listen to Dr. Radha Krishnan. I think it's a privilege for all the participants to have an experienced person, especially from the HR side, coming and talking to them who has served Tata Steel for so long, and his experience is really valuable. And thank you, Adanya Satish ji, for giving me this chance to come and speak. But before I start, because the topic is about the entrepreneurship for the students. So student entrepreneurship, I would like to first check with, if anyone has a question before I start, I would love to have one or two questions. I will just keep them in my mind and that will give me an idea what I should be talking. I have no preparations for today, but your questions will direct me how I should be, addressing the requirements of the audience. I guess most of you are students. So unless there is someone from the teaching community, please give me some question that you are looking at, some answers or some questions or some concerns or some queries or something that's in your mind, one or two, that will help me to direct my talk. If anyone has, otherwise I will start bombarding.
ആരെങ്കിലും ഈ ഗ്രൂപ്പിൽ നിന്ന് സാറിന് ചോദ്യം ചോദിക്കാനാണ് പറയുന്നത്. നമ്മുടെ സ്റ്റുഡൻറ് ഗ്രൂപ്പിൽ നിന്നോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ ടീച്ചേഴ്സിൽ നിന്നോ ആരെങ്കിലും Sir, I was using the colloquial Malayalam language.
Hannah, please do that. You use all languages that they can understand. But I hope they
Yeah, yeah.
understand the English when I speak in English.
Yeah, they understand it, sir. We
Okay.
speak English. Anyone from the group can ask them questions. നോർമലി നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ചലഞ്ച് ആണല്ലോ ഈ പഠിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നിടത്ത് നിന്ന് ബിസിനസ്സിലേക്കൊക്കെ കടന്നു വരാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് വേണ്ടുന്ന ആരെങ്കിലും ഒരു ചോദ്യം ചോദിച്ചോളൂ. Sir, sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
sir, it is like basically no, we have the students, they don't have an idea how to start up a business, how to go with it. Normally in Kerala scenario, it is a status quo getting a job after the studies. If it is immediate, they are very bright. If it is late, they are still okay, and that comes with status. So actual the requirement is the PSC and other thing. They reach up to getting a job in 35 years or something, and otherwise the way out is going to Gulf. Basically, in Kerala, people will reach Gulf otherwise after this thing. So we want our people to think to start small scale businesses and other thing, and they should start earning while they are learning. So that is the basic idea which we have to put in.
How to start is the fundamental question today. This is bothering everyone in the world, that if they have to do anything in their life, the first question, especially when we are students, the first question is how to do that, and that is the biggest challenge. And when we are talking about the entrepreneurship and when we are talking about the subjects, if you go and see many surveys, there are more than 90% of the students who say they are uncertain about their future and they lack complete clarity about their career. They don't know what's going to happen to them. They don't know what they will be doing tomorrow. And it is not a problem only with you. So don't worry about it. That you are not the only one who is bothered right now. What should I do? How should I do? It is a universal problem with every student. And as I said, more than 90% of the students who responded to these queries, they say they are completely blank about they're completely lacking clarity about their career. The another bigger problem with such students is there is a constant peer pressure. You know, someone is doing MBA, I will also do MBA. What have I done? Someone is going for BBA, I will also do BBA. What I have done. Someone has gone for a BTech, someone has gone for a diploma. You know, this peer pressure is always bothering students inside the campus, or when they are in their society, when they are in their area where they are living. You know, parents start putting pressure on the children. You see, the neighbor's son has taken admission in this engineering. Why are not you taking admission? Why are you behind? That is another problem with many of the children, many of the students. And sometimes, you know, the problem is there is a very unique strength in everyone, all of us. If you go and do a mapping of all 7 billion people on this planet, you'll find everyone is very unique. Everyone is very different. Everyone has got different strengths inside. But because of this peer pressure, but because they have to appear good and better than the peers, they try to imitate others. And because they try to imitate others, they forget that they have an individuality inside them. There is a potentiality inside them which is very unique to them. But they forget to see that potentiality inside them. They forget to see that individuality inside them, and they start imitating others. It's like there is a rose flower plant on one side and a lotus flower plant on the other side. The rose keeps on looking at the lotus, and the lotus keeps on looking at the rose, and lotus wants to become rose without realizing that lotus is much better than rose, and lotus is as good as rose, because lotus is lotus. It has its own qualities, But because it constantly looks at rose and there's a fragrance coming from the rose, there is always compulsion for this lotus to become rose. And same happens with the rose. He sees the beautiful lotus blossoming out, and the rose wants to become lotus. And this is a fundamental flaw, because neither the rose can become lotus, neither the lotus can become rose. Both of them are made for something unique, and in the process of trying to become one another, they become nothing. They in fact get destroyed. There's a beautiful story by Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa, and it's a beautiful story. Most of you might have heard about it. It's about a tigress. I must share the story with you. A tigress once attacked a herd of sheep. And these sheep were in the jungle. This tigress attacked these sheep, and at the same time there was a hunter who shot an arrow and killed the tigress. So when the tigress was dying, she was also carrying a baby in her womb. While dying, she
वाईफाई
gave
उसमें
birth
लगाना
to
है,
a cub.
वाईफाई लगाना है उसमें.
भाई साहब, आप लोग, would you like to listen to me?
कहाँ बैठना,
Either
कहाँ है?
be
वहीं अपने कमरे में
mute.
बैठे. बस हाँ, आओ.
Should I continue or should I wait for people to go on mute?
I think they've gone on mute now, finally.
Okay. So as this tigress died, she also delivered a small cub. And this cub, because the tigress had died, this cub started growing along with the sheep. And as this cub grew along with the sheep, the cub started believing that he's also a sheep. And he continued to live among sheep despite being a tiger. So several years later, there was once this herd of sheep along with this tiger. They were attacked by another tiger. And this tiger, when he attacked this herd of sheep, he was shocked to see that that all the sheep were running because of fear. This tiger was also running because of fear. So he was very much shocked. How can a tiger run away from tiger? So he ran after him. He caught hold of him and asked him, "Why are you fleeing? You are also a tiger like me. Why are you afraid of me? Why are you running?" No, this sheep tiger, he started pleading, "Please leave me. I am a sheep. I'm not a tiger." And he kept on insisting that he's a sheep. And then this tiger became very annoyed with him. He pulled him, dragged him to a nearby pond, and asked him to see his face in the water. And in the reflection, he asked him to compare his face and my face. And in the pond, he found that he was also a tiger. And suddenly, in that moment, the cub recognized himself that he is a tiger, and he lost all the fear. Ramakrishna gave this story. You know why? Because all of us have a tiger inside us. But unfortunately, because in the surrounding society, we start comparing ourselves with others. If someone is doing an engineering and he wants to become a employee in some big company, I must also do. In that process, we forget there is something unique, someone very special inside us, and we forget about that, and we all start emulating that person. And in the process of emulating that, we actually destroy that individuality, the potentiality that was inside us. So today I tell my students and I tell my teachers, we do not need to tell you students what to think. We actually need to help you how to think. And I must tell you, don't listen to the people around you. Listen to yourself. You must learn how to think. And that is most important. I don't need to tell you what you should think. I don't need to tell you go and do this. I don't need to tell you go and do that course. I don't need to tell you go and do that program. I don't need to tell you go and start that business. No. You must ask yourself, where does your heart lie? Don't try to become an entrepreneur just because your neighbor is becoming an entrepreneur. Some other student has become an entrepreneur. Ask yourself, are you keen and passionate to become an entrepreneur? Unless you do that, you will never become a good entrepreneur. You may start something and you may, wind up that in a short period of time. So the quality of any successful professional today is not that there are some big successful professionals, I must become like them. No. I must study them and find what are the strengths in them, what has made them successful, what has made them failure, what have they learned from the failure and then again become successful. I must study that and then I must ask myself, what qualities do I have? Do these qualities really make me to do something which I like? Or am I going to do something which people like to do? So this is the first thing. Second thing, I wanted to tell you that you must be doing something which you like to do. And you must spend some time with yourself. Stay with yourself. Study the people around. Let me give you an example. How many of you know you may be all using Google today? We are on the Google Meet, or we may be using the Google as a search engine. But how many of you know where this Google actually came from? It came from some passionate people who were studying inside a university, in Stanford University. Larry Page and I think his name was Sergey Brin. These two students were studying in the Stanford University, and they met together, and they wanted to create a page, and they wanted to create a search engine and a page through which they can. It was not originally Google. It was called some other name. I think it had a name like Backrub. Backrub was its original name, and later it got changed to Google. But remember, these company like Google, it got created inside the campus. You are using Facebook today. Have you ever thought of where did this Facebook come from? It came from the Harvard University campus. There was this Mark Zuckerberg and some of his group people who wanted to create a small, platform of networking within the campus. And see what happened. He was very passionate about doing that, and eventually it flew. You read Time magazine, it has been created in the campus. You talk about Snapchat, you talk about Reddit, you talk about FedEx, the one which serves the couriers and large transportations around the world. And most of you would be using the WordPress for popular blogging. It was also curated inside the university campus. And why I am telling you this, it's not because it's not only because in the global universities this has happened. In India, you have got so many successful professionals. And today, if you look at our country, you have got great professional, richest professional, youngster who started a small company and now it has become a multi-billionaire company, Ritesh Agarwal. The idea clicked in his mind. He used to travel around and he found that there was a challenge, and he cracked that challenge and created a company called OU Rooms. It was a pure brainchild of Ritesh Agarwal. You think of Tilak Mehta, you think of Sri Lakshmi Suresh, I think I forgot his name, Trishneet Arora, Akshend Sahu, many people, Kavita Shukla, Ramveer, and Sumit Shah, they are the people who have created so many companies. But remember one thing, they created these companies because they were very passionate about creating something. So the first thing I am telling you, if you really want to do some startup, if you really want to do a business, if you really want to become an entrepreneur, ask yourself, does your heart lie in doing something that creates wealth? That is something, not a job, but you want to create the jobs. If that is the passion, if that is the energy and the call coming from inside, then go and find out. The next thing is to find out where is the gap in the market. See, it's not like getting up and starting a business. Anyone who's passionate about doing something must first find where are the gaps in the market. See, for example, we have Ola today in the country. Before Ola came in or Uber came in, we used to have taxi stands. Whenever I used to get a taxi, I will call the taxi stand. And taxi people, they had their own whims and fancies. Someone found that there was a gap in the market. Why should I call taxi people every time and they have the monopoly of taxis? And someone thought about it. Why not use the technology and create a taxi platform? And you see the beauty? They don't own a taxi. Someone else owns a taxi, they only own a technology platform. And on that technology platform, they've connected all the taxi. And now they serve you taxi at the low cost at your will. So customer is the king. Whenever I want taxi, I can get the taxi. And I will get the taxi at the price that I command. So go and find the gap in the market. You see, today you have Urban Clap. Now, Urban Clap is what? Again, a technology. Small platform created, understood that every home needs some kind of service. They may need some repair of taps, they may need some cleaning of house, they may need cleaning of sofas, they may need beauty and wellness work, they may need some repair at kitchen. So this Urban Club decided, why not I provide all these services in one platform? And you see what happened. He created a Urban Club as a technology platform, but provided skills to thousands of people who had different skills and engaged them as employees. And now they are serving and providing service to millions of Indians in the country. I was in Philippines. I loved what people did there in agriculture. Young boys, what they used to do, they had bought 1 acre of land, 2 acre of land, and then they got the membership from the nearby societies. And they promised them, if you become the member of my agri business, I will provide you natural and fresh vegetables every week. And I was surprised what they did. They had the membership from many surrounding societies, some 100 members, and they would focus on building the agriculture quality, and they would serve people with the good quality of food material. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you really want to do some kind of entrepreneurial stuff, first find the gap and then understand who is your audience. If you found that there is a gap in the market, we have in our university some students, they were going through a skill program on electrician trade, construction electrician. You know, surprised? I was surprised. One of the students suddenly came up with an idea that, sir, I have started making LED lamps. And I was surprised. And suddenly a group of students, they registered a small company. Now we have opened a small quality center inside the university. These students are buying raw material, making the LED lamps, and the cost of their LED lamp is 30 rupees. They are selling it at 50 rupees, while as the LED lamps branded are available for 100 rupees. And now we have provided them a quality setup. And I'm sure in next 4, 5, 6 months, they will set up a good company, low cost LED bulbs to the people around. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is you need to understand the audience surrounding market gap, and then you need to start working on what you can do. So for that, the next step is you must build a network. You must meet people. You must meet the people who have become successful, who have failed. You must connect with them. You must keep on understanding from them that what you can improvise in your business that you want to start. You also need to, if you want to make a bigger business, you may have to arrange finances. You may have to look for microfinancing. You may have to get some funds for your business. These days, there are so many opportunities, so many venture capitalists today providing financial support to the business. But subject to you have a very solid idea, you have a clarity in your mind that what you are going to do. You also need to have the fourth thing is understand the competition. If you are doing a very run-of-the-mill business, you must also understand who else is doing the same business. And because others are also doing business, so how will you succeed? Because the competitor may be doing something better than you. So how can you do a better than competitor? That also is very important for you to understand, because without understanding the competition, you will not be able to succeed. So I'll not take much time. I'm just having only 2 minutes now left. The last thing I would like to tell you is, remember one more thing. Unless you take risk and believe in yourself, you will fail. Let me tell you, when you start something, there's no guarantee that you will pass. There's no guarantee it will flow. There's no guarantee it will become a one-night big company. It will take you time, and you will fall every time, but you will have to get up every time. So that bouncing back quality must be there. You must be mentally prepared that I will fail, but I will get up again. And if you may fail in one way, you do in another way. And that network will help you. When you are in the network, you will understand what has failed there. You may try to experiment that in your business. So believe in yourself that you have to succeed. You may fall, get up again, learn some new techniques. Last thing is leverage technology. Technology is today going to transform many things. In your own village, there may be 50 things that you can do. See how technology can help. It can be agriculture, it can be service, it can be manufacturing, it can be trading, anything. Anything. We can have a detailed session sometimes later, but today, because of the paucity of the time, I stop here because I also have to leave. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk to the students. I wish you all the best and good luck.
Very thanks, sir. Dr. Raj Nehru sir has taken elaborately to the topic, like from the PR to the final step of the technology. He was riding all the way, giving us stories and other thing. It was a great session, sir. Your contribution to us was very, very helpful for our children to understand, our youth to understand. So we, as an Abhayan, we are very thankful for your session. Next, we have, I request you, sir, ahead also, we want your updates and your supports in taking the mission ahead. We expect your participation, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. And next, we have our All India Joint Organizing Secretary, Shri Sajid Kumarji, to have some few words on this mission, sir.
नमस्कार.
Namaskar, sir.
हाँ, थैंक यू अनिल पिल्लाई. और यहाँ बैठे हैं रंजीत जी एंड श्रीजीत. अभी अभी प्रोफेसर राज नेहरू ने बहुत अच्छा एंड हैज डिलीवर्ड ए वेरी गुड लेक्चर on and he is the appropriate man for this, because he has experience of industry. He is the vice chancellor of our skill university, and every type of organizational ideology he has, also strong ideology of ours. So from every point, Nehru is a perfect man for this subject which you have chosen for this today's conference. And also before that, before Nehru, Dr. Radhesham was speaking, I think. Anna? And
Professor Radhakrishnan.
sorry. Professor Radhakrishnan, I heard him. And क्या नाम है, वो senior professor है. Actually, I could not listen to him full. I only listened his last 10-12 minutes speech. So very good speech was that also. Today the Kerala team has organized such type of event. I congratulate to this team. So Ranjit ho, Srijit ho, Anil ho, or whatever another persons who have arranged today's meet, I congratulate them. And the subject is also whatever the need of the hour. Today, you know, we are have started the campaign, Swavalambi Bharat campaign. This Swavalambi Bharat campaign, this is for to eliminate the unemployment situation. Minimally, we can decrease this in some way, this number. Or how we can create employment, employability, entrepreneurship. This is the big challenge. Bharat, in this year of 75th year of its independence, when we are celebrating our 75th year of independence, Amrit Mahotsav, Bharat has achieved so many things economically. Now, per capita income, which was whatever in the 51, now it is tenfold more. We have now growth rate of 8.5%, 8%, 7.5%. Now we have good roads, good railway, good infrastructure. Our IT sector, our software sector, they are booming. Our IT software exports are very good. Our agro exports are very good. In dairy sector, we are number one. In pharma, we are 20%, especially generics. We are leading in the world. We are being called as pharmacy of the world. But on one issue, we are lacking. Of course, we are now $3 trillion economy. We are growing at 8% or more. But the economists are saying we are facing jobless growth. This jobless growth is creating panic. देश भर में. This is the problem area which we have to address. This Swavlambi Bharat campaign is rightly to address this issue. Today we see that we have 140 crore peoples and even labor force. It is around 52 crore as of now. Every month, 9 lakh youth is coming to the job market. How any government, any industry can give such a big number opportunity for jobs? It is near to impossible, just to impossible, next to impossible. Nowhere in the world, no economy in the world is able to give jobs to such a big number. Then what is the way out? Only the way out is entrepreneurship. If you call employment a job, then there is no way there. There is a dark area, no road ahead. Jobs are limited, but employment is unlimited. So we should not talk about the jobs, we should talk about the employment. Employment can be created by you and me. Jobs cannot create everybody. Even the governments are failed to create much more number in jobs. Industries fail to. If industry has to grow, if industry has to automatize, if industry has to adopt new technology, that is the primary शर्त होती है उनके लिए. Then how the industry can give the good jobs? Only the way out is you and me, if we enter the field of entrepreneurship. In the last some 10, 12 years, we are seeing India is entering in that area. We have good numbers, we have good number of youth. Bharat is the 17% population of the world. But what is the most हमारे पास जो thing है, that is, I am audible ना Anil? Anil?
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Yes, sir,
audible.
you are.
Okay.
Go ahead, go ahead. It's-
Okay. Okay, fine. India is having a largest pool of youth. Only in the bracket of 15 and 29, we have 37 crore youth as of now. No country other than Bharat has such a big number of their youth. Now it is an old idea that your population, growing population is a burden on you. No, it has been proved wrong. Now the talk is going on of demographic dividend, because there is a direct relation between age, youth, and its GDP. Latest IMF study says that from 1% to 2% contribution in GDP is to their demographic dividend when the population of any country is youth. In the world scene, you will see America and China. Average age of America and China is 37. Europe is 44. China, already I have said America and China 37. Japan 49. And India, Bharat is only 28. Average age of the Indian is 28. We are youngest nation on the earth, on the all 200 country and plus. So now the big question is how we can reap, how we can harvest this demographic dividend. We are a youth, but only demographic dividend in itself is not a destiny. We should be educated. Literacy rate is already have gone up 90% plus. Health sector should be there, infrastructure, ease of doing business, all that. But the topmost is what the idea, what the heart, what the issue Nehru was also discussing. That is entrepreneurship. Quality of entrepreneurship in our boys and girls should be such type of. They can make the Bharat 100% employment country. Rozgar Yukt Desh, 100%. Only can be done by this entrepreneurship of our youth. And today we are seeing that already we have entered in that area. You may be knowing in the last 6 months, 524 companies were registered every day in the last 6 months of 2021. 524 companies were being registered every day, including Saturday, Sunday. When we see startup figures, last year, 2,234, I think, or 43 or 34 startup were registered. It is the highest number in the any country. We are, in total also, we are the third largest startup ecosystem of the world. Even when we saw the number of unicorns, every 9 days, India is producing one unicorn. That is unique in the world. Forget US, China, Japan, Germany, or any other country, European country, or any other country. India is producing unicorn every 9th day. We have now more than 110 unicorn companies. What is going on? So we have to track this trend. And when we see this trend, then the stories of just like from the Bittu Tikkiwala to the Oyo, which was being mentioned by Nehruji, everywhere, these are big names. But when we go in the village area, when we go to the towns, everywhere, we are listening the success story. And it is not due to only the big universities or big giving the results. No. Even uneducated persons are being in the entrepreneurship area. Last night I was seeing the episode of this Bittu Tikkiwala. He was a graduate from the simple college. He was doing a work of Master Ji, giving coaching and tuition to the boys. Then he thought I should be अपना company खोलूंगा, अपना काम करूंगा. And he started from a ठेला और टिक्की बनाने का. क्या बात है? And now, after 25 years, he has become 500 crore rupees company. He has not any degree of Harvard or California or even in Delhi University or in the Bombay University or any IITs, IIM. No. Now IIM has sent a team to the Bittu Tikkiwala to study the case of BTW. Not only this, our here in Haryana, our Swadeshi Jagaran Manch Akhil Bharatiya Kosh Pramukh Balram Nandwani's son, Rohit Nandwani. He is a simple graduate. He has graduated from the Panipat College. Of course, for post-graduation, he had gone to some Bangalore college. But now he is running a company, Hammer. And the last 25 days back, he was in the Shark Tank show. And he got 1 crore rupees offer. Of course, he refused because he did not want to give 3% or 4% share which the Avnish Grover was demanding from him. So he refused to for 1 crore. But this is a simple boy of our son of our Balramji. Now he is running a company of 15 crore rupees in a simple city of Panipat. Such type of examples are coming from everywhere in the Bharat. I saw the article. These startups are from how much districts? India has 739 districts as total. And at least one startup, how much district we covered? It is 542. 542 districts has sent at least one startup. Of course, the big areas are Bangalore, Mumbai, NCR, Pune, Hyderabad. Big areas are dominating these cities. But more than 540 districts has at least one startup. That means Bharat has gone on the track of entrepreneurship, clubbing with the technological tools, clubbing with the technology help. Now the mindset of our youth has been changed. Now that is not a poor mindset. We have come out from the colonial mindset even. Now we are going for products. We are going for companies. And so we are hoping, and we should be, a country of entrepreneurs. We were long back when we say the English has looted $45 trillion from Bharat in the last 200 years. Utsa Patnaik's report, a research report. She has done a big research in California and London. And she has reported that English persons in their rule of 200 years have looted more than $45 trillion from Bharat. From this way or that way. How much is that $45 trillion? As of now, US economy is of $21 trillion. That means more than 2 America were looted only by the English in the last 200 years. And before them, English person, the Portuguese, the Turk, Mughal, Pathan, after 712, Muhammad bin Qasim se lekar, or before East India Company, how much they looted? From where this wealth came? This did not came, this wealth, by the knockers, by the only job seekers. No, no, no. India was full of entrepreneur. Every village has a decentralized industry, eco-friendly industry. Our boys and girls coming from the every village, coming from the every family, they were automatically the mindset of the entrepreneur. Only the society, only of the country which have entrepreneurial mind, that can become so rich. And today also the proof of richness is there. You are sitting in Kerala, in our Tiruvananthapuram Mandir. How much money is in the only one temple of Tiruvananthapuram? Anilji, have you number? I think it is more than 2 lakh crore rupees only in one temple.
Yes, sir.
And all the had not been even opened. Of the 6 or 7, whatever the वो वहाँ पर है.
Yes, sir. Questions are just to be open.
हाँ, yes. I was Pranta Pachara of Punjab. There our temple, Gurudwara is named by Swarna Mandir. We have Durgyana Mandir. Pura covered with gold. Nowhere in the world has such type of temples which are covered by gold sheets. So much money. From where this money came? This came from the entrepreneur mind of Bharat's youth in the past 10,000 years. But when the English came, they changed our mindset because they want some knocker from this country. They give the English education here. And if someone starts get pit in ABCD, whatever, they give them a salary per month. Not only salary, उनको महिमा मंडित किया. This महिमा मंडन and monthly salary, slowly in 200 years, our youth become the mentality of knocker. Everybody is job seeking. If you are seeing in the Patna railway station, boys of Patna, they burnt railway bogies. Why? They want a railway job. Everybody is seeking jobs, especially government job. Government job nahi mila, then they want only company's job. But if our youth will seek only jobs, they will be job seeker, they will not be job provider, then the country cannot become rich country, cannot become $10 trillion economy. No. We have to change our mindset. For that, in our Swavlambi Bharat campaign, we have given 5 ideas to change mindset. First idea we have given, that is start earning early, earn while you learn. Jamshed Tata started earning in age of 14. Mark Face Zuckerberg started earning in 19. Everywhere you will see this man, our now it is 8th or 7th in US, which was the second largest richest person in the earth some 8-9 years back. He started earning at the age of 11. So we have given the idea, start earning early, earn while you learn. Second, don't be job seeker, be job provider. Third, we have said, think big, think new, think out of box. Baba Ramdev has become 20,000 crore rupee company. Why? He thought out of box that the pranayam and yogasan can be the tool of money making, can be the tool of employment giving. And now Baba is running 20,000 crore rupee company, giving direct employment to more than 2 lakh boys and girls. So think big, think new, think out of box is the third idea we have given for the entrepreneurs. Fourth is 5 virtues of entrepreneur. Be passionate, one. Second, risk taking. Third, hardworking. Fourth, reliable. And fifth, techno savvy. 5 virtues should be adopted by any youth who is interested for the entrepreneur to become entrepreneur. And the fifth point we have suggested, nation first, Swadeshi must. Anyway, we should not be only the economic entity. No, we are a part of a nation, so we should think about nation also. Nation first, Swadeshi must. Even I think this helps in the economic field also. So by these 5 ideas, one can become a good entrepreneur. Country has to become the country of entrepreneur. We are on very much track on that. And I hope up to 2030, we will be a zero BPL country. We will be 100% employment youth country. And we will be a country of $10 trillion. So if we go on the entrepreneur route, I think this is the time, high time, we should think in Kerala especially, the unemployment situation now should be in control, and by entrepreneurship, we will make rich our state also, we will make rich our country also. That's all I have to say. Thank you for listening. Jai Swadeshi, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, Satish Kumar ji, for a very elaborate lecture, data-wise and idea-wise also. Your speech was very encouraging and empowering our youth and the leaders also. Leaders like Commissioner, leaders are making us the environment. We are seeing every development in every sphere in our national movements. So surely your ideas will work out. We will be together to take it ahead, and it will be a great time for Indians to grow globally well entrepreneurs. So it was a great thing by our 3 visionary leaders, as the speakers has given a great time for us. I invite our Adira Vijay Kumar for the out of thanks for today's webinar.
Namaste.
Adira.
Good evening to all. I deemed it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. Let me, first of all, I start by giving glory Almighty God for making today's occasion a resounding success. First and foremost, I thank Professor Radhakrishnan sir. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech. And I also express my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Raj Nehru, who, despite his busy schedule, has found time to grace this occasion. Thank you, sir, your valuable lecture. And I also thank to Satish Kumar ji. Thank you, sir, for your valuable time. And also thank to Dr. Anil Kumar. And last but not least, I thank you all of the dignitaries and all the students and teachers. Thank you.
Anilji, I think you are muted. Unmute yourself.
Thank you for participation. We had a great time today evening. Let's just take the mission ahead. We will surely succeed the challenges, and we have all the environments with us. Surely we'll take it the mission ahead. We keep our words to the leaders and to the nation. Let us do that to take the mission ahead. Jai Bharat. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.